I had just gotten out of the hospital. I decided to take 1,800 milligrams. I shouldn't have done that, I think, because my tolerance was all fucked. So I was in the cab going 4 hours away. So I took them all whenever I got in there, handfuls at a time, you know. I was counting them, I was making sure, but usually that wouldn't really be a big problem, but it really was. You know, I was just sitting there and then started to get that overwhelming feeling. I hadn't had that feeling in a really long time, honestly, because I was just so into that drug. But it was pretty bad. I started seeing the smoke in the air, you know, the mist. I could, like, whenever I moved my hand, I'd just, like, move visuals out of the way and shit like that. It was really, really weird. I never experienced anything like that. I was coming up really, really fast. I started, like, looking outside from the window and shit like that. And I could hear something talking to me. And I didn't understand that there was nothing to be talking to. So I just had, like, a full-on conversation with probably, like, a seatbelt or some shit like that. Funny enough, yeah, I did. Just full-on regular conversation. Almost like I was being interviewed or some shit. Shit happens, you know. Like I said, it was very, very overwhelming. Had to overthink it a little bit, because that's just how I am. Yeah, my friend just walked out of the room. Yeah, if you were wondering. So, I would just be talking to this seatbelt, really. It was answering me, it was asking me things. I had been a lot of the time whenever I do a high dose trip, it always seems like I'm being interviewed by something. It's really, really weird. It was asking me questions about my life. I was giving straight answers, and the people that were driving, the person who was driving was probably like, oh my God, what the heck is this kid on? But they didn't really notice because it was just so loud on the fucking interstate, and she was talking to the other person in the front, so they probably didn't even notice I was there most of the time. It was really, really bumpy, so, like, I couldn't tell if I was shaking because of the convulsive activity or because everything was just moving. I think it was a little bit of both, honestly. Started to see these bugs crawling up on me, all over me. Like, at first I started to notice it was on my hand, and it just looked like clear little circles with, like, black legs, and they were just walking up my fingers and shit like that. Looked kind of like spiders, which kind of makes sense, but I had never really tripped that hard. I mean, I had never really tripped and then seen that many spiders, so it was pretty overwhelming. I was really, really stupid. I was probably like 3 miles down the road, and like 3 or 4 miles after that down the road, and I started to see these really, really intense visuals go into my vision. I couldn't even see past them. It literally looked so real you could reach out and grab them. I was seeing random letters and shit, like, written all over the place, and, like, they seemed familiar, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't read it. Fuck that. I couldn't read it. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. It looked like there was just smoke coming off of the car. And for a second, I was actually convinced that, like, this car was smoking, and I was starting to get really, really uneasy. But I quickly realized that nobody else was reacting like that, so I knew it was just probably me. I was going in and out of it really, like, about an hour in is whenever my peak really hit, like, hard. I seen these, like, kind of, like, slight colors, like, static. You know, like the old school TVs and shit. Like, you take, like, the magnet and you put it up to it and it changes the color, kind of. Well, that's what the hell it looked like. Everywhere I was looking, I was seeing, like, shadows following my eyes. Whenever I try to look directly at them, they'd be gone, though. I was pretty much, like, on one, dude. So I started listening to music, trying to calm myself down, because I was like, I haven't came up like that in a really, really long time. That was pretty bad, honestly. It was stressful. I couldn't stop. My jaw couldn't stop clenching and unclenching. I was just very, very tense. All my muscles were really, really tight. My mouth was dry as hell. I had gone through all the water I had bringing with me too. So, and I didn't care about the trip anymore. I was like, okay, I need to calm the hell down, because I usually do that amount all the fucking time. It didn't dawn on me because like I've never not been high on that shit. So it was very, very stressful. I can't stop talking about how stressed out I was. For a second, I really thought I was going to die, but like I kept on finding myself like nodding off and then jumping up. I don't know if you've ever like had so much in your system that like you're standing around and you're just talking to somebody, or just standing there smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden your legs just give out a little, and then you almost fall and just jump back up. That's basically how it felt. I kept on feeling like I was falling into my seat, and then I had to keep on jumping up like a hypnic jerk or something like that. We had gotten out of the car into the gas station, and I was gonna buy me something to eat because I had a little bit of money, so I got me some, I got me a pack of Fruit Roll-Ups, and I was like, man, this is, but like whenever I was eating them, it was like, I didn't recognize the taste. For a second, I thought it was fucked with, but I was like, wait a minute. Think back about a year or two ago, whenever you first started doing this shit, how weird everything tasted. I almost couldn't even trust the water I was drinking. It seemed so gross and bitter and disgusting, but I needed to drink it. Like, you could have told me it could have been piss, and you could have told me it was water, and I probably fucking believe it. Goddamn, it's really that. It really fucks with you that much. Whenever I try to focus on something, my eyes would like move a little bit, which was very apparent after about 3 hours. And I remember I was like, oh shit, like I was pretty close to being close to where I was going, and that's whenever I started to come in and out of consciousness. Like, I don't know if I was blacked out, but it obviously messed with my memory. So I would like be sitting there, and it's almost like I'd fall asleep, then I'd come to, and something would happen for like a split second, and then I'd be back into it. By the time I got to where I was going, and the guy, he came out to go meet me or whatever, and I was like, I guess my eyes were going like that. And I was convulsing a lot. I didn't really remember at the time that shit at all. I had blacked out 10 minutes away from the place I was going, and I didn't remember, but like it slowly came back to me. I remember him because like the cab or like the minivan door, they wouldn't open from the side, so I had to crawl through the front, and he called back there and helped me get out of the car. In my mind, I like later on, this came to me. In my mind, I thought, man, they don't even know I'm high, but it was really, really obvious. He pulled me out, and then I got straight into an ambulance. And whenever I got put in, I remember like hearing a lot of things that were going on, but I couldn't see anything really. So like they put a catheter in me. I knew what a catheter is, but like at that moment I didn't understand what it was. Even though I had them put in before, I guess I was just that out of it. But I remember like having my eyes open but not being able to see anything. And I was just like laying there or whatever, and I guess I don't remember doing anything wrong. They never told me I did anything like messed up or like cursed them out or anything like that. Like, but whenever I came to, I guess I was like jerking out my IV. So they restrained me or whatever with restraints. And it took me forever to convince them that I was fine. But eventually, like once I had this bruise on my arm, I guess maybe I had pulled out an IV and it was getting everywhere. So they just had to put me in the thing, and they were just so rude to me. I mean, I don't know why. Honestly, like they said, and I even asked, I was like, what the hell did I do? What the hell did I do? And they're like, you didn't do anything. I guess people were upset because they see a lot of addicts. So that's how that was. But like the bruise on my arm didn't start until like after I was discharged, and then I never got the paperwork that told me what happened. So I don't know. I had 2 IVs in and a catheter, and as soon as I could convince somebody I was fine, I was like, take this catheter out of me. They deflated it and I pulled it out myself. And I was like, ugh. For one, like, it seemed like I kept on pissing through the sides of the catheter. It was like really, really weird. And they were like if you need to pee, just lay there and pee. And I'm like, see, look at this. And it just goes everywhere. And I'm like, why? Just take this shit out of me. Finally, I came back and like I got to meet the guy who took me out of the cab, and he was like, yeah, you look way better than you did earlier. And I was like, what are you talking about? Do I know you? And because I don't remember ever seeing him, but apparently he's the one who helped me out. So I guess that's a little bit how it's like to almost fucking get really, really hurt. Apparently I might have had a seizure, so that's something as well. I don't really think I forgot anything else. Anyway, that's what it was. Check out my Reddit r/DPHghosts, and you could find the Discord link on there somehow. So see it. I do not condone any use at all. It's really, really sad, and I don't like it. I mean, but if you do it, you do it. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it's like, if you can keep from getting into this, then don't get into it.